Hey, this is Sri Vishwanath here, and welcome to episode number 22 of the Ask Sri Vishwanath Vedanta show. And today's video, we'll speak about how to overcome physical attraction. So today's question comes from Deepak. He says, how to get rid of attraction towards opposite gender. Now, the good news is there is not a single person on earth who was able to do this, was able to overcome physical attraction through personal effort. Whenever it was done by the grace of God, grace of Ishvara. So the simple answer is, as you increase your love for God, as you increase your devotion, as you increase your worship towards God, the physical attraction disappears. That is the most direct answer. So where there is Rama, there is no karma. So the best thing is to worship Ram. Sing a song of Ram, sing a song of Krishna, not dance or something, like sing. Now this is very important, that you have attraction, physical attraction, negative thoughts, these are all, you have to make it disappear. See, you should not struggle with these. Now, most people say, oh, I can overcome physical attraction, all these pleasures, I'll do this, I'll control my mind. Some of the best, you have to learn history. Attraction, physical attraction, is directly created by Maya. Krishna says that physical attraction is called karma. It's not just physical attraction towards body, towards anything, desire, anything, and anger. They are the two of the biggest upadhis, like the obstacles. So they're created by Maya. So if you say, oh, I'm going to control it, I'm going to do that, you can do all that. You'll be spending 10, 20, 30, and you'll feel you have it under control. Ramakrishna says, this is Ramakrishna, you have to study Ramakrishna. He says, after 6 months of practice, spiritual practice, suddenly a queer sensation came from him toward the attraction. This is Ramakrishna, arguably the greatest man born on earth. And then he would hit his head on the ground. Like he literally hit and said to Goddess Kali, no, this should not happen. Now you have to realize, can you and I do that? Have you done that? We're not going to do that. Same with Vivekananda. When he got this sensation, which comes to everyone, he sat on a gas cylinder and said, let this body suffer so much pain that it will never again. Now, are you ready to sit on a gas cylinder? No. So you get to realize that they came. Attraction towards opposite gender is not something which we have developed overnight or just by about 5 years, 10 years. So it's not like that. It's through many lifetimes as a product of Maya. So the way to do that is to increase your love for God. Because you increase your love for God, it disappears. It's very, very important. So you should not try to fool yourself, I'm going to control it, I'm going to do this, no. Just keep increasing the love, the worship for God. Now here's something very important to realize, is that there are two things, Chit and Chidavasana. Now Chit is the light of the Atman. And Chidavasana is the reflected light, which creates all these obstacles. And that's the reason the very fact that you want to overcome it is a big deal. So anger, attraction, all these creates this what's called as upadhi. It doesn't make the reflected light disappear. That is why this struggle is between Chit and Chidavasana. Chit is the light of God, your Atman, your purity. And the Chidavasana is the reflected light. And that's because of the false visualization, because of many lifetimes. So you don't have to worry trying to analyze, why is it that is. You have to just make the damn thing disappear. You have to realize some of the best have meditated for 20 years, 30 years, and then in 1 second, their purity was lost. So don't try to be foolish to try to think you can control all this. There's not a single person on planet Earth, not a single person who can do it through individual effort. Because this is a product of Maya, and you can only do it through the grace of God. I'll share with you a very a beautiful story shared by Sringeri Shankaracharya. So there was this teacher, a monk, and he had a student, And he was a very good student. He was very devout. He practiced all that, and he was also a monk. So one day the teacher was said, "I'm going on, some vacation, and so take care of this ashram." And the student said, "Yes, I'll do that." Then after a few days, the student there was a river, small river, and as he went to the river, there was a young female there. So he was surprised because in the ashram there was no woman around. So he asked, from where did you come? And she said, I lost my way. I was chasing a butterfly on the other side of the forest, and then I lost the way, and I came here, and so it's nighttime, and I don't know what to do. And so the student said, "Oh, that's not a problem. Don't worry. Stay here in the ashram in the night, and then you can go back." So she said, "No, but there's no one here. I can't stay with you because it's not right." So the student said, "No. I'm very pure. You don't have to worry. I've overcome all these senses. No one can attract me and all that stuff." So she said, "Okay, and he said, I'll sleep outside and let you sleep inside." So she slept inside and he slept outside. Now, that night, there was a huge downpour. Now, this guy was very honest, very, very honest, right from the core. So there's a huge downpour, tremendous thunder, lightning, and he was getting completely drenched outside. And he had to get up every day morning and do his prayers. And so he was scared. And so he knocked at the door and told her, "Look, this thing, I have to come inside, because I have to pray. I have to pray tomorrow morning, so I'll sleep in the side." So he went inside and he slept facing the other side. He was not seeing the girl, sleep on the other side. So he was keeping his head on the other side, and then the thunder, lightning increased so much, and it was like feeling very, very cold. And so he turned his head this side, and now he was seeing her face, and these desires start coming in, attraction. But he was a very devout person. He had done a lot of good stuff. So he said, no, these are just thoughts. I have to overcome it. But as the night progressed, it increased. And then it was feeling very cold. So he said, "Okay, I need this blanket. Otherwise, I'll get very cold." And so he started sharing the blanket with her. And then as he saw her, and then his attraction gave way. All his power went away. And he raised his hand to touch her body. And the moment he tried to touch her, the girl disappeared and the teacher appeared. See, the teacher had through his yogic past transformed himself into a girl to test the student because he knew that student was not ready. So he just wanted to make him convinced. And the reason that happened for that student was because he was real. He was real. He really wanted to overcome, but that's how God helps us. That if you really, really want, if you're very, very sincere, God will make sure that you don't get into trouble. And so in this case, the teacher helped him do that. So honesty is required. It's not about like we are all going to forget, but honesty is required. We keep on doing that. Now, here's something very important. See, if someone has got lots of money, okay, if you've got lots of money and then you lose, then you'll feel that loss, right? So someone who doesn't have any money is not going to feel anything. So you have to taste higher energy. Now, most people who don't understand higher energy would say, "Oh, what is there in this, in this physical attraction? It's not going to do anything. God has given us this and that," and all these authors here, many people do that. But they don't realize because they're not tasted higher energy. Like the tiger has tasted human blood, it will only one who has got a lot of money would realize what loss is. So you have to taste higher energy. And when you taste higher energy, you'll know what Chit is and what Chidavasana is. And then you really, really, really want to do it. So to do that, you have to increase the devotion. See, most people they do not realize why they want to overcome attraction. And what happens is, after you have some attraction, you visit some websites or you feel so bad or thing, you have guilt. Now that's the problem. We don't need guilt. If you have guilt, you just don't understand higher energy. You need to have pain, physical pain. Just like when you see, you should have pain all over your body. That is when you'll know that your higher energy is coming down. Most have guilt. Guilt is not going to do anything. It's going to make your life miserable. That's why love of God is so important. Because when you have love of God, you'll see the higher energy and then you'll see the fall and you'll have pain, like your eyes will pain, it will pain, your body will pain, and then you will know, yes, I'm doing something really, really, really wrong, because you'll see the, you know, energy. Now, this is very important. So, see, honesty is required for. So, whenever Vivekananda says you exercise, you visualize Ishvara, and you have some restraint. Even you do it once, you're winning. Like, you don't go to a website, all these crap websites. You do it once, you're winning. And you should also always realize, when you go there and you restrain, let's say you restrain once, you're actually saving the purity of a girl, since you're a man. And if it's a woman, you're saving the purity of a man. That is what you should realize. Whenever you visualize Ishvara and don't have all these physical attraction and pleasures, you're saving the purity of a girl or a woman. That these things should come to you. See, that's why these things will come when you get a taste of the chit. That is when will inspire you. Just like people say, oh, I want to change the world, and it inspires them, whatever change they're doing. It inspires them, right? So you'll be inspired. Oh, if I restrain, it's not only going to help me, it's also going to save the purity of a woman. You're safeguarding the purity of a woman, of a girl. This is very, very important. Those are the things that, so you have to realize that worship of God is the key here. Not trying to use the mind and intellect, say, okay, I'm going to do this, we're just going, your mind, intellect, all your experience is of zero use, zero in this thing. You saw, I gave you that story example. Millions that are some of the best have failed miserably, fallen flat in seconds. Your mind, intellect, your experience, all your so-called purity is just dust. D-U-S-T. Because this is a product of Maya. So don't fool with it. Where there is Rama, there is no karma. The name of Ram in your lips will make sure that he will take care. And because when you do that, you'll start getting pain. And then you will know. And then, so struggle is important. Struggle to worship Ishvara. See? And you should not feel bad, because many times you're going to forget and you're going to go in the other direction. But you should not feel bad, because you're in the right direction. You're increasing your worship. So that's what you should do, Deepak. These are some of the real tips. These are tips that work. Okay, always work. So this is not some philosophy. This is not some lecture. This is real things that work. And you can go to www.magicofgod.com, MAGICOFGOD.com, to save 3 decades in overcoming attraction and disappearing all these things. Thank you, and God bless.